you use Caney Creek Company. To what extent would you really have rather called yourself Caney Fork River, but thought you had to modify it in some way?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, that was sort of the inspiration behind the group name was Caney Fork River is where we all went to school, is Cookville, and Caney Fork, runs, Corey and I would go fishing on the Caney Fork all the time. And so originally we started off, we threw names around and tried to make logos using Caney Folk Company, and then we tried Caney Fork Company, and it just...
And don't forget the short-lived Caney Fork Folk Company.
Yeah, Caney Fork Folk Company. I mean, we were trying a lot of different things, but we really wanted to have this company on the end. That was something that was important to us.
Brand.
And so then we just sort of went with the alliteration, Caney Creek Company, and it's been great. And whenever someone asks about us, where we got that name, then it gives us a nice little story to tell, like right now. And we've discovered that there's tons of Caney Creeks all over the place.
Yeah, we've had people from North Carolina and Georgia
and
Texas, and they're like, "Oh, are you named after the Caney Creek here?" Maybe, yeah, in a way. If you like us, sure.
But it just means that Caney Creek is everywhere. We're just all over.
We have deep roots.
That's right.
Okay. So do you know how many times you have to cross the Caney Fork River going through the state of Tennessee?
I think 5 times.
That's correct. That's a correct answer. That's correct.
We cover a tune by Balsam Range called Caney Fork.
That's correct, yes. It's a good song. I use it in my teaching.
Oh, great.
It's a very good song.
I think I first heard it on satellite radio.
That you probably have. Kyle Cantrell has played it, and other people have as well. Now, what about gender? To what extent does this band conform to gender stereotypes? To what extent do you cross certain gender kinds of barriers and stereotypes? I have a perception, but I'm curious what yours is.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that oftentimes that women performers in this context, in this style of music, are often portrayed just for their pretty voice and stuff. Like Alison Krauss is an incredible fiddle player, but yet everyone knows her because of her beautiful voice, which is great. But I think a lot of times her music is marketed that way. And so, at least for Katie, I think it's great that she rips fiddle every once in a while,
She built some rock tunes too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just quaint like singing of hills every single time. It's like she'll hit high notes in certain songs we write that highlights sort of this rock influence. So maybe I don't know if you feel empowered or anything. When you're
I also think it's a given that being a female and I'm not gonna call myself pretty, but I think people want to see my face probably more than
You're the different one.
I'm
you know.
yeah, and
When
I
we
do.
perform,
I am.
yeah.
Are you going to go Rhonda Vincent sexy?
No, and that's the thing. I don't want to be put in that box. I'm also a talented performer.
I think we can agree that
it's a given that everyone wants
Right.
to.
Yeah, we can agree
see.
that I'm the sexy one of the band.
Well, I think also too, we're at least not trying to market Katie specifically. We're not trying to objectify her in that sense. Just logistically, the way our ensemble is set up, I think if someone's trying to market the group as we had joked around earlier in the naming of the group, like Katie and Company, and Katie's like, no, I don't want to do that. So it's we're even the way we're set up, Doug's in the middle, then me, and then Corey, and then Drew and Katie, so that sonically, we're set up sonically where lower voices are in the middle, then middle voices, then the mandolin and fiddle, which are solo instruments, and higher are on the outside. So we're really trying to get a best sound instead of like, let's put Katie in the middle, let's put the pretty girl in the middle, sort of thing. So I don't know. I don't know. And
Yeah, there's also, you know, the way we play, it's kind of a given. Guitar is going to be a staple of every song, and bass is going to be a staple of every song. And then as the higher voices get out, there's less emphasis on them the entire time. So that gives Katie room to play between vocal and fiddle, and it gives me room to play between being a rhythmic instrument and being a solo instrument. So it's not a constant focus. Katie has to always be sawing away at the fiddle or singing. You know, we get like sound is coming from
fair across the board.
sound is coming from different sides of the stage at all times, and we want to highlight everybody's talent. So
But you're not on an instrument where they'll say, well, you play well for a girl. Right?
We started with a female upright bassist, actually. She ended up moving to Colorado.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think people probably expect to, if not expect to see a woman playing the fiddle, it wouldn't be as unusual as a female mandolinist or a female upright bassist or whatever. You know, it's just in the catalog of great.
Which is a whole nother
Yeah.
sort of corpus of discourse is talking about sort of instrumental roles and how instruments take on.
Yeah. And then you have to go back 20 years and psychoanalyze why we picked the instruments that we want to play.
Well, I'm sure your instruction, like, talking about the history of country music, and I'm sure that, like, really
No,
plays.
gender issues are
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
subtle, and Miss Murphy's book on women in bluegrass, it's always, well, you played well for a girl, kind of thing. And
yeah. And we try not to.
Murphy Henry.